I'm borderline a fanatic. You know what I'm saying? Over the music, I fucking love this music, and it's not just because the love that I have for King C, but man, it's beautiful. It's and to be honest, it's nothing. And my ears are good. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like I've heard. I can't place it. I even listen to the beats and try to place what a. That's why I say you got that Dilla in them. I even try to like figure out the music, the beats that he's. I can't figure that shit out. All of it sound different, or he just make it sound different, so fucking different. Right. You know what I'm saying? This dude, to me, I feel like this man. I've been chilling with an alien my whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying?
Chakra music.
We get them sights, standing on the corner at 5 o'clock in the AM. Rest in peace to Big Lil, we still Section 8 mobbing in front of the shrimp boat. Tim's on and Eddie Bowers, thinking we were Rayful Edmonds at an early age. On a smaller stage, we've been paid in full. We got receipts for those hustlers at the Go-Go's in the black hole. City as the backdrop and taking photos like Hot Sportif, gold chains and bucket hats from the Madness shop. CC, free nostalgia. DC, slouch socks and new bees. Tips with the light phase. DC, Chuck Brown, blasting on the radio. D stories being told about crime in the city. 7 on your side, Paul Berry. Wayne Perry's name ring out. Pig Latin on landlines, we're speaking on drug ties. Nation's capital, home of the law and inmates. My pops had a bed there. Heck of Jamal be pumping out here, Joe. Half of a hole. Benny Lawson was cold, never was a snitch. Ran up in the district and blah, 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 blah. DC's. DC's, slouch socks and new bees. Tips with the light phase. DC's, slouch socks and new bees. DC's, slouch socks and new bees. DC's, slouch socks and new bees. Tips with the light phase. DC's, slouch socks and new bees. D Chuck Brown, blasting on the radio. DC's.
Yo, what's up?
Chakra music.
Why are you? I thought you was upstairs. Why the hell you in here? Why? Why?
Trying to see what y'all do.
Grown up stuff. Your kids. Why you here?
Yo, who that?
It ain't your mama. I know that.
Ain't yours either.
Man, look. Man, look, take this bread. Skedaddle.
This ain't enough to get some damn Chipotle.
How much Chipotle you want? You want Chipotle or Chipotle? I give you enough to give you McDonald's. Do you want all of this or you just want $100?
I want all that.
And if I give you all this, you gonna get the food.
Hey, yeah, just give me the money, man.
Oh man, bye. See you later.
Bye, boo.
Yeah, boo, we need to go get a haircut. Take that money, get a haircut. Get up out of here.
Yo, I'm going renegade. You know what I'm aiming for. That 48 years old, it's a must. We settle the score. This not folklore, this the true science. Not fiction, straight facts, and I'm part of the alliance. No longer in silence, yeah, we bypass the blinders. Grinding for the knowledge, if you seek, then you inspired. I put them demons on a whole crash course diet. They was feeding off my aura till I woke up defiant. Been at, took the obstacles, had to spin that. Battlefield of the mind, why lose when I could win that? Begin that journey to better my whole steeds. Gotta believe till I can split the bread in threes like a Kit Kat. What you getting at? Coming at me with some okie doke. Hit the truth in plain sight, saw it, no kaleidoscope. Unconventional, I'm original. When I'm breaking out the same old karma till it's tenfold.
And my phone going off. See, you taking a long time to come
that
this
phone
bread.
not my problem. That phone not my problem. That phone, that's your problem.
So once
you know what I'm saying? But wait
I
a
can
minute,
take my little brother where he need to go. Because he be bugging.
This looking a little short though.
How much is a little
You know
short?
that, right?
How much is a little short?
Just a few dollars, which I actually do need.
$2?
Yes.
$2 is like $10.
Man, nobody cares when you going live. Even if you on live with one of your top 5 MCs. Frankly speaking, I don't give two shits. 90s Vic, I had to curse to get my point across. Some of y'all got lost in the transition. No pot to piss in, no window to throw it out of. Cuz the fuzz be tapping my phone lines. Driving dirty with no license, followed by one time. Pull over, now you walking a fine line. Love is green, show that fat like 2 dimes. Where's my lighter? Look on the brighter things. He could've dished you on live. Goofy face was the door prize. Eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. 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 Open. Ray Charles Prodigy rap.
I want to welcome a good friend of mine who I've known, believe it or not, since childhood. He know me, since elementary. Phil.
I can smell the classroom.
and look, go-go beats on the table. Sardines and pork and beans beating on the table. Now, what I like to start out with is he thinks I actually brought him on this show, to talk about him and his music. Psych! Actually, what this is, I'm serving your ass papers because I listen to how good your music is, and you owe me royalties, and you know why, too. Yeah, this ain't no show about you. This is about me and this litigation I'm about to hit your ass with. You owe me money, and you know you do.
Woo.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to know that. I don't think they want to know that story.
Oh, okay. You don't want me to tell it? You don't want me to tell it?
You can tell it.
Okay.
I think the statute of limitation is gone by now.
Yeah. Oh, been gone. Hey, look, we old men now. So I used to live in this rooming house. I ain't gonna say where, just in case. I used to live in this room. Huh?
It's still there.
Yeah. I used to live in this rooming house when I was about 19, 20 years old. And this guy owed me some money. He only owed me about $50, but he didn't want to pay me. So he had some Taurus turntables and mixer and I would say about maybe $2,000 worth of records. And I wound up taking all that shit. And I didn't know what, and I knew exactly where I was gonna go with it. I was like, man, my boy King is putting his little music career together. So we went by his house and dropped all the stuff off. And that's why I joke and clown with him about he owed me royalties. He don't owe me nothing. He has become a great man, a master of his craft, a lover of the community, a family man, a man that loves his family and loves his mother. Peace out to Miss Brown, who was like a hood mother, and our block wasn't no joke. So you had your shit together to be a hood mother on our block. And I miss Miss Brown greatly. I remember the time where I got stabbed through my forearm with a ice pick, and Miss Brown, and I was on the run, so I couldn't go to the hospital. So I went to King's mom, and she sat me in the kitchen, and she hooked me up, But it just wasn't that, I was a kid born basically without a mother, So Miss Brown kind of like was my mom, and it was crazy on the outside of her house. But for some reason, when I come into that house, it was like nothing could touch me in that house. I used to love sitting there drinking maybe like some iced tea or just a glass of water just to sit in this woman's presence and have her give me some wisdom and love. So peace out, Miss Brown. I miss you dearly. BB looked just like you. BB done grew up to look, and that's King Cee's sister. BB looked just like her. So if I really miss you and want to see you, I just look at BB, you know. But yeah, man. Welcome to the People's Dinner Party, my brother. Me and this brother go way back, like I said, like elementary school. We also played football together. Do you recognize this picture right here?
I can't see it.
Hold on for a second.
Oh, it's coming. Yes, sir. I already know. That's a Howard.
At Howard.
Yep. That's the Howard against HV Wilson for the championship.
Yep.
That's Fats right behind you in pursuit of Henderson Moses.
Of Henderson Moses. You know he moved to Ohio.
Gotcha.
And I was in contact with him for some years, and he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah, Henderson Moses. Yeah, he's no longer with us, bro. And speaking of brothers that's no longer with us, our friend Fats, man, Fats Sean, peace out to Fats Sean, R.I.P. You know, he's not here with us either. You know, and while we're talking about Fats Sean, you know, much love to Ahmed Lopez, who also was a member of that team too. Much love to you, Los, and Fats Sean. We'll never forget you, man. And Tim Beck, we'll never forget you. Adrian Miles was like a black man to me. We'll never forget you. Gone way too soon. Adrian Miles, you know. So yeah, man, look, check it out. Tell us about Chakra music. Hold on for a second. Before you go into Chakra music, let me
not to cut your wisdom. Enoch he's coming in. He just texted me. He said he's gonna come on in.
Okay. So you and Enoch been busy. You know, while I've been out here running around doing my little thing, y'all must, not only are you black, but you must got some Mexican and Chinese in you too. Y'all the most hard-working musicians. Oh man. A little nod to Dave Chappelle. And this is what I mean. Look, man, I listened to all these albums just last night. And I'm a fan. And not only am I a fan, but I'm like obsessed. Because I'm out here in this world, man, living, you know, I never thought I would leave my home. You know what I'm saying? And to hear quality music that I can relate to, that, you know, that challenge my intellect, that's on time with politics and how you should live. It's not just songs, man. They're life lessons, brother. They're honest lyrics about real life shit. And it caught me off guard. That's why I say, hey, man, now I know what Basquiat's high school friends must have felt like. You know, the music is amazing. Me and Chris was talking about it before the show, and we were saying things like Dilla. Also, I caught a little bit of Dr. Dre, how you layer shit over top each other. Also, believe it or not, I felt like a little bit of DJ Quick in that motherfucker too.
Yeah. I like. Oh, there he is. That's my brother.
Enoch.
What up?
What's up, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm over here listening to y'all.
The man, the miracle himself. 7th prophet. What's happening, baby?
Ain't nothing, man. Y'all can hear me? Good?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
Right. Cool,
now,
cool.
Look,
I appreciate that.
Chakra music.
Look, I'm about to go into all this hard work, you guys. You guys been busy, man. Just a Minute, produced by King Cee. Nostalgia, also produced by King Cee, and I think should be a DC anthem. It almost brought tears in my eyes because the way you rap over them beats put me back home. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio. It was, you know, just remind me of home. You dudes are DC to the bone marrow. The next album, No One Cares, which is funny. To me, it's funny. It's funny. and it kind of reminds me of the album Wale did in a way that included what's the comedian's name that show?
Oh, you're talking about I know what you're talking about. You're talking about he did the oh man, it's a show I used to watch. This Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Seinfeld album Wale did, and it had me rolling. That sister that y'all have doing the open, the intro and the outro. She's fucking hilarious. She reminds me of like a pain in the ass little sister that's just point blank. So, and also King.
Shout out to Carib.
Yes.
Carib. She's also was our stage manager when we hit the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you got you a good hatchet woman.
You don't know the half.
So we got I Burn, which is the next album, also produced by King C's Bolo's Kitchen. I haven't seen that word Bolo's Kitchen in almost 20-something years. Peace out to the beggars. One Moment Please, also produced by King C. The Reagan era. I didn't get a chance to listen to the Reagan era. I'm gonna listen to that today.
Oh, you don't even know. There's a video for that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to the Reagan era. Also produced, not produced, but recorded at Chakra Music. A Minute of Your Time, also Chakra Music. And I really enjoyed Life is Life. I really enjoyed that album as well, and the song. I also enjoyed Sonic God. That joint was amazing. Yeah. And some of my favorite songs on there on Sonic God was The Pressure, Unentitled, and Black is Beautiful. And you know why? You know I'm a little biased. But nah, these beats are flawless. They're fun. If you're having a bad, I see why they call it chakra music, because you can feel it in your chakras. You know, it's a very relaxing music. You know, you don't really need no bud and no wine, even though I drink bud and wine. You know, so yeah. Also, what caught my attention to show you that these brothers make timeless music, okay, was and that's the first question I'm about to go into, and it's for Enoch, and you got good timing, brother. You came right on in. I wanted you to talk about Return of the Prophet and the album cover. Explain that to us, because that seems to be, yes sir, right there. I love this album cover because it is very the album cover itself is relevant to today, because you talk a little bit more about the album cover and went into the production of this album right here.
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you for having us on here. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you. Give thanks for you listening to the music, because most folks that interview us or interview me or whatever don't take the time to listen to the music to get the vibe of what is going on, to ask those questions. So I definitely thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
And to answer your question about the Return of the Prophet, this was my rendition of like the knowledge that I've been reading or have read or had, questions to myself about. And coming from Return of the Prophet going into Sonic Gods, right? That's what happened. Return of the Prophet going into Sonic Gods. So the Return of the Prophet was basically, if the prophet returns, how would he move across this earth? What would he or she, what would I do as the returning of the prophet? And what would I return back in on? I return back in on the mothership or the mother plane, right? So the concept of the album cover was to basically have angels around me and I as the prophet coming back in a baby plane or a mothership. So we And it was only three people involved in this. It was shout out to the models, Siren and Robin, right? These particular two models were the angels. So I had them all dressed in white. I had on a black suit. It was hot as hell that day. It was in the midsummer. We were in an open field. I wanted in the open field because I'm a photographer too and a videographer, so I've already saw it. I wanted in an open field.
Right.
So therefore, the person who's going to create the album cover for me had room to make these things. Right. So I said, I want to be already on the earth. I want the baby plane to be over us, and I want it to be like a rapture type of thing.
No doubt.
So by me having like a church background and raised in the church, using that information and now putting it into the frame of we are the prophets today, I wanted those angels around me as protection, me coming back down to destroy the earth, me coming back down to bring wrath or whatever is going on. During that photo shoot, I burned the American flag, which we didn't use as the album. We used it on the back of the album cover because we had CD prints. So on the back of it, you see me burning the American flag, right? And having the angels around me, that's drawing more attention. So our whole object of that was basically to bring some prophecy, let me speak some prophecy within my rhyme scheme and make it available for those who are not on that higher level. Just bring it down a little bit. And that was the whole concept behind that album cover.
Hey man, it caught my attention. One of the reasons why it caught my attention because, they just had a congressional meeting, maybe about 90 days ago, about the government admitting that there are UFOs and aliens and all this type of thing. And I know, Elijah Muhammad had been talking about that for some years.
Reading so much, like just, even reading the Holy Tablets by Dr. Malachi Z. York, reading that, reading the entire thing. It took me like 3 years to read the entire book.
Wow.
And now all of these like sub memories are still there that I wanted to tap into and bring some attention and just, but between me and King, it's like when I buy an album or a CD, I always buy because of the album cover or the CD cover. If it's interesting, like, oh, that joint gonna be fire, and that joint might be dope. Let me get it anyway. Like that's what we always strive to make that presentation of the album cover appealing that people can draw to it. So
just like Ice-T back in the day when he had his wife on the cover. Nobody really knew who Ice-T was, but Darlene was fine as hell, know. So like this might sound good. If at worst I could put it on my wall.
At worst, but that came like the hip hop, like that was like going down as one of the top, I think 100 or 50 album covers of hip hop or something like that. But
no doubt. And she about in her 60s and she's still lightweight fine.
Yep.
Hey, she on the podcast with Corey Holcomb?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she is with crazy ass Corey Holcomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey, man, he a wild boy. Some of the lyrics in one of the songs, knowledge be the key to life. Now we carry the Can you go into that a little more, Brother Enoch?
Yeah, knowledge be the key to life, so we carry unks, walk like an Egyptian. Right? So knowledge is the key to life. If you don't have knowledge of yourself, then how you gonna pick a lock? How you gonna open up that self-discovery of you? And the is the actual key to life. Like we understand that the is the phallus and the fallopian tubes and all of that is merged in, and that opening is where we give birth at and things of that nature. So knowledge be the key to life. So we carrying these unks all day. It's us. We are the and we have the knowledge. So having that knowledge and then applying it to putting it into rhymes, that was my whole focus. Because back then I was on, like I'm still on that now, but back then that was like a different version of me because now Knowledge be the key to life, so we carry unks, walk like an Egyptian, following
Right.
tradition, keep it strictly hip hop, because that is our, like, we
Right.
keeping it boom back. But
Right.
I still want to put that energy in you, like we're still
Right.
gods on this earth. We're still we still comedic people. We're still have knowledge of ourselves, but who is using the key?
Right.
Is the key in your pocket?
I don't, you know, I'm an old man now, you know, and I don't have much money coming in. But next month, when I get my little piece of, when I get my little SSD check next month, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna gift myself with all your albums.
I appreciate it.
Because I'm going through, like, the whole planet is going through, and those who have been chosen to come to this planet, you know, to change the vibration, to raise the vibration, to bring in this new era, this golden era. You know, and to look back to the album cover, the reason why it touched me, because I actually seen like UFOs, and especially like in New Orleans, and you know, I spent a little time in Asheville, North Carolina, and Asheville, North Carolina, it sits on top of a crystal cavern.
Mm-hmm.
And Americans in Asheville used to be a sacred land, and they only used to use it when they were making babies, or if they had arguments or something like that. They would go out into this part of the land, you know, to calm themselves, you know. That's why the album cover really hit me. It really hits you if you see one.
Yeah.
And I was in, I'm gonna share one sighting. I've seen a lot. I've seen it so much, it almost felt like they were following me. And I seen one night when I was in New Orleans, and this thing was so big that it blocked out at least 1/4 of the sky. And it had all these little, it was black. I couldn't tell you what shape it was. I could tell you it was huge. And it had all these little tiny lights on the bottom of it. And it cruised right, I was in New Orleans, and it cruised on the West Bank. And it cruised right over the Crescent City Bridge, quiet. Didn't make no noise or anything. The thing that tripped me out, I didn't panic or anything. I was just looking at it. It didn't bother me or anything like that, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so I know it's real. But the only thing about seeing it, it don't really matter if you see it, because nobody's going to believe you anyway,
right,
you know.
Right.
But look, but I want to go into real quick, too. The reason why I believe that I was seeing a lot of these sightings is because I was dealing with my chakras at the time. Mm. And I was using this technique, and, you know, forgive me if I'm preaching to the choir, if you already have this knowledge, but my landlord at the time had taught me about this thing called quantum touch. Are y'all familiar with quantum touch?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay. And I used to use my fingers to open up my chakra points. And one night, I had some like really weak bud. So it wasn't the bud. That shit was mad weak. It reminded me of that bush we used to smoke back in the day from the Jamaicans. But it wasn't strong at all. That headache, that angry weed. But anyway, I had been practicing opening up my chakras for a couple of weeks. And one day, all my chakras smashed together and came back open. And I could feel not only my chakras was open, but I could feel my meridians all through my body and through my legs, down through my calves, through my feet and everything. And I heard a voice say, "Who are you?" Mm-hmm. And it went to explain to me. It felt very much like an acid high. Don't ask me how I know. It felt very much like a controlled acid high. Mm-hmm. And the voice told me that I was a part of the all, and that we were poured into different containers strictly for the experience, and that I was going to live to see the golden age come and everything. And it was powerful, brother. It was powerful. And I could control it, because I had somebody knock at the door, and I could stop it, go to the door, tend to the person at the door, and then sit back down and still be like tripping, you know. And I was laughing uncontrollably for like 2 hours. I couldn't stop laughing. So I know, Asheville, North Carolina is one of those places that if you're interested in yoga and, UFOs and your gifts, because, you got a lot of these kids. I do identify as an indigo child, because I do carry the gifts of an indigo child, and yeah, man, it was a hell of an experience. And I was thinking about that when I was listening to you guys' music.
Chakra music.
You got too much power. A white boy got bullied in high school and turned police. You got too much power. Like open females doing office hours by the water cooler. You got too much power. She gon' snitch. Now the government promoting rape culture with your so-called power.
Chakra music.
My lyrics pop off like an automatic. Held by a white boy in a trench coat in Cincinnati. He'll shoot ya cause he's a born loser. Cops at the bank make America great again. The proof is in the pudding, axe Cosby. Couldn't hardly see me on my worst day. Blindfolded, bird box, little rail, all hail the emperor. Bow down to greatness when you enter the chamber. Wu-Tang, protect your neck, keep your heads high. You got too much power. A white boy got bullied in high school and turned police. You got too much power.
Okay, look. Now, I could be mistaken, but I hear a lot of Rastafari references in your music as well. And why is that?
Just at that point in time, if we're still talking about Return of the Prophet, at that time, being involved in the Rastafarian community. There's a lot of people who I would say who are in the Rastafarian community who are not from Jamaica, but they talk like they're from Jamaica, but they're really from DC, Maryland, Virginia. You know what I mean? I kept it true to who I was and learning the aspects of Rastafari and Haile Selassie and Queen Menin and going through the process. I had locks too at one point for about 16 years or more. Right. And understanding that the locks didn't make me a Rasta, it just makes the heart a little more different than the outer appearance. So once again, just going through a transition of self, self-identification, going through the transition of me growing as a person and identifying to certain things that that I don't necessarily have to cling to, and don't necessarily have to be, involved in that community to understand what that community goes through. But dealing with the elders and being around Rastafarians and, understanding the culture and realizing these particular things helped me create more music, helped me to write more, because King always told me, he always say, you live a little longer, there's something to write about. There's things to write about when you live a little longer. Not necessarily life living longer, just going through things, just day-to-day stuff. So I took that and just went with it and understand that that's the culture that I'm a part of. That's the culture that I understand, and putting it into words, making sure and just growing as an individual. A lot of people would say, oh, you Rastafarian. And I would say, well, the definition of that is just head creator. Rastafari is head creator.
Right on.
God creator. Tafari. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
If we're embodying these images or we're embodying this information, why not put it in a rhyme in a way that that is dope, that is funky, that people can get with it and understand it, and I'm not going too far over their head. So
you can use it as
teaching tool.
Exactly, but also too, I think it's my understanding, I could be wrong, that the Rastafarians didn't start out with dreads. They started out bald-headed, and they started wearing dreads. Like I said, I could be corrected. They started wearing dreads as a way to show support to the Kiki tribe. the war. I think was it Tanzania? I think it was a war in Tanzania. The revolutionary group that
yeah, it was the Tasmanians, and then it was it's a tribe called the Fuzzy Wuzzy tribe.
Okay.
It was a tribe called the Fuzzy Wuzzy tribe who had locks.
Right.
And they were captured. So when they was captured and had locks, the white men and the Europeans were calling them, they were dreadful.
Right.
Because they had dreads. So that's where the word dreads came from, because they were dreadful in the sense of, a negative dreadful.
Right.
If you call a Rasta a dread, they're looking at it like, no, I'm not a dread. I'm not no one to be feared.
That's right.
You know what I mean? These are locks. These are my antennas. So I never when I had locks, I never called them dreads. I called them locks or antennas, because it was just to be a connection to that.
Right.
And that Rastafarians would say, like, you don't have to have locks to be a Rasta, because the locks are inside, and it's the black card man, as what Bonnie Whaler said too.
That's right. The tribe, the revolutionary group that I'm thinking of is called the Mau Maus.
The Mau Maus. Yeah.
Mau Maus. I met a Mau Mau on the city bus in DC one time when I was on the metro. I met a woman who was a part of the Mau Mau rebellion, and she was shocked that I had that I had knowledge of it. And the saying goes, that the Rastas, to show support for the Mau Mau rebellion, they started growing their dreads. It's so many different stories.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you though.
Yeah, it's so many different stories. And one thing about DC is a university. It's going to take you through different. You might start out Christian, and then you run into the nation, and then you, if you're fortunate enough, you may run into Rastafarianism, and so much going on Georgia Avenue, especially around the Howard University campus, the Blue Nile and such. You're gonna, if you want to, you can be extremely well educated in DC and vast different types of knowledge, and revolutionary thought. Because I am a child of DC. I may live in Cleveland, but I'm a child in DC. I done lived in so many different places, but what DC made me was a survivor. And I can go anywhere and I'll be okay because of what DC taught me. King could tell you I like to run my mouth a lot, so it's probably not a surprise that I finally got a podcast, But one thing DC did teach me too: keep your mouth shut and mind your business, and you might, live a little longer.
Right.
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut. You ain't seen nothing. You don't know nothing. Don't talk. Look, there's things that I know that happened 20, 33 years ago, and I still ain't saying nothing. Unlike Keefy D's dumbass.
Yeah.
Hey, so to bring in something a little current. So what y'all think about that whole Keefy D thing, man? Y'all got any thoughts on that?
I don't know what outcome he's looking for.
Right.
Because you're going to jail.
Going to jail.
So my thing is, why even implicate Diddy in any way, shape, or form?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing, man. You living that life, and pre you being locked up, it's like you're a total contradiction. You're a grown man, you was banging.
Right.
That night when Tupac, y'all did what y'all did, that was a banging situation. So the consequences is we're going into things like that. It's a chance you can go to jail or die. So why now? What's all the cooperation for now? All that OG shit now means nothing to me now, because you done violated that OG code. You talking with the feds now.
Right.
If you're going to be in that life, be in it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I couldn't do crime, because I didn't want to go to goddamn. I tried my hand at selling crack, being Everybody
about
around
5
me was
minutes.
selling crack, doing all kinds of shit. But I knew in the back of my mind, I didn't want to be in a car or a room where a motherfucker told me I can't leave.
Hey, like Beretta say, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, baby.
I got locked up once.
Yeah.
And be in a room where they say you can't leave until we say you can leave.
Sucks ass.
I was like, nah, I said,
nah.
I don't want to do this no more.
Nope.
I don't want this. It ain't take one time for me to do this.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. But but I don't know what his outcome is on that.
Look, over the years, I've gotten close to me and Pac. We got something in common. People that politically raised him also politically raised me. Like Love McQuarrie, who helped raise Pac, and a few others. They told me that if you look at the documentary, it's a Pac. There's so many of them now. So it's a documentary that says, I think one of the police officers was talking about how, like, in New York, Thug Life and Pac was at the House of Blues in New York, and they took a .40 caliber pistol off one of his boys. The police did. And I find it kind of funny that they find that Pac was shot with a .40 caliber pistol. And the police officer was saying that basically the same weapon. And a lot of the elders that's in the Panther movement really believe that possibly Keefy D wasn't in the car and nobody else was in the car. It was somebody. It was them folks. It was them alphabet folks that actually did Pac in, And and I'm not trying to spread any type of conspiracy theories, but the Shakur family was built by Saladin Shakur he raised money selling African artifacts to build a black underground for American revolutionaries to escape. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Wow.
All right, look, back to your music here.
Wow.
Look, on the cut, Spiritual Warfare, and this is for King too. Man, to listen to your music, man, it's like it's hella creative. Actually, we kind of touched on this, but on the cut, Spiritual Warfare, man, if I may ask you, King, man, what went into making that music, brother? Making that beat for that?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I just bang out the beats and send them to him.
There you go.
I'll listen to a track. I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, this sounds like he's something he gonna rock with.
Yeah, you just black
Go ahead and email it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Side note: he does not like performing that song. It's just something about that song he doesn't like to perform it live.
Yeah. But actually, it sounds really good. Enoch, True School Styles reminds me very much of the Lyricist Lounge. Am I close? I'm getting more. I'm close to that. I said True School Styles reminds me very much of Lyricist Lounge.
True School Styles. What is that? What is that?
It looks it's a comp. This goes back. It was a lot of different artists, and you were the host.
Damn. Oh man, Slim. Yo, I forgot about that shit. Like, oh damn. Yo,
I
okay.
did my homework, baby.
You really did your damn homework. All right, look.
Yeah.
That project was orchestrated and directed by me. Like that project.
Okay.
Like big up to Adon Entertainment. Oh man, this was like 10, 15 years ago, probably.
Right.
So Adon Entertainment asked me to get involved because they wanted to put together a mixtape.
Okay.
They wanted the dopest artists in DC. At this particular time, I was hosting an open mic called True School.
Okay.
The longest running open mic in DC.
Say word.
Yeah, longest running oing mic in DC. It was held at a record store called Capital City Records, right on U Street,
Okay.
right above the Masonic, right beside the Masonic Temple. Wait, no, it's right beside Masonic Temple,
Yeah,
but
it is.
sits right on top of the black owned flower shop, Lee Flower Shop, right?
Okay.
So with that being said, he wanted me to get artists. So I had Uptown XO, I had YU on there, I had some other artists on there too that I can't think of by name, and I apologize about that. So we put together a compilation. It wanted to be a mixtape. It was mixed by DJ RBI.
Okay.
He did the blends. He made it a mixtape. I hosted it, the mixtape.
Right.
I went to RBI's house.
Okay.
Out in Southwest, Southeast, somewhere out there.
East side of
over
South.
to his house.
Yeah.
We recorded it one time. We didn't do 2, 3, 4 takes. We was in and out.
Get out.
I did the hosting of that record. Like, it was one time I did it. We didn't do it 2 or 3 or 4 times. It was one time we were done. So when that joint came out, it was basically dedicated to like DC, because it was constructed around DC. It was constructed around things that's happening in DC. That's why the album cover is the way it looks.
Right.
So we got different beats from different producers and things of that nature, but it was fun though. It was very fun project.
Man, I listened to that too, and it was still, still fly. It was so fly. And I heard some voices. I'm not an expert, of course, on DC hip hop. Really, all I knew was the Beggar Clan. That's all I really knew. And Lord Lyle and what he was doing in his basement. Peace out to Lord Lyle, R.I.P. Now, look, I wanted to touch on also, too, Life is Life. I enjoyed the hell out of that, too. That album as well. Like I said, a lot of the music you guys produce, man, it's like, and you know what? You guys are the perfect guests for the people's dinner party, because you bring nourishment to the table for the people, man, for their mind, body, and soul. Y'all chefs for real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the, some good cooks, brother. And like I said, I was just researching. I didn't know I was gonna fall into the pit. I was just looking in the pit. I didn't know I was gonna fall into it and be like, damn, this is what I kind of like been looking for. Cause I'm very picky about what I watch and what I listen to and who I pay attention to. I'm very picky, especially, I've been like that all my life anyway, but especially at 52 years old, But I wanted to talk about Life is Life a little bit. It's a cut on there where I read that this song came together after your uncle passed in 2017. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, definitely. First, King C is, when we talk about Bolo's Kitchen, King is the chef.
Right.
King is the chef. He's a chef in real life because he get his cook on.
Oh, he can cook. Oh, he can cook.
Yeah, he get his cook on and shit now. Don't let it fool you, right? And he's a cook in that lab. So I'm just the maitre d'. I'm just like the waiter. I'm just like the one who brings the food out and give you what King has presented with me. Just, you want some cheese with that? You want some salt? And I'm just grinding it and putting the salt on it, right?
But Life is
yeah, absolutely. Life is Life was written as a rap, as an actual rap, but I wanted to sing it.
Right.
I wanted to get someone else to sing it. And at this time, I was living beside a cemetery. I wrote that piece walking through the cemetery.
Right. Wow. The energy.
And I think that track, I think the actual stems of that beat got lost, or something got corrupt. We couldn't mix it like we wanted to. And I was just like, I'm gonna put it out anyway, because I think it's dope. So that's how that came about, just going to my uncle's funeral and walking through the cemetery and just writing.
Right.
And that's how that song came about.
Also, too, man, I want to jump on. That's a very deep story, and you know, when I was in DC, I never. Of course, I wasn't a rapper, but I liked the art of poetry, and I read that it started out as a poem for you, about your uncle, you know, and I still write poetry from time to time, but I wait until I'm inspired by some type of emotion or something. Sometimes when I feel like those days that I can't punch myself out of a wet paper bag and I feel like I'm about to bust, I grab a pen and I start writing about what I'm feeling. You know, so I got a little, you know, I got some poems and stuff that I've done over the years, but I really haven't done it for like people. It was more like of a therapy session for me, so I wouldn't like, you know, go over the edge too far. Right. You know, I want to get into Sonic Gods, which is amazing. We touched on it as well, but I want to tell you, man, my favorites is The Pressure. You talk about your mom and The Pressure. And the woman, and I had another question within that question. Was that your grandmother at the end?
That was my mom.
That was your mom. Okay. Hey, look, man, we can skip past this if you want, but would you like to talk about that? You know, about you know, the energy and the forethought that went into the song.
Yeah, King makes beats in the form of, like, he knows, like, right. It's always good to have a producer who knows the artist that he or she is working with, before they can construct beats around him or her and not just throw them any type of beat just to them to get on it. King has, throughout his years of making beats, have actually created videos, has created concepts, has created like movie type of beats. And The Pressure was that. The Pressure was like, I gotta speak my truth on this shit. Right. And it has to be transparent so people can get it. Right. You know, son of a Rolling Stone, raised in the district. Mama was a street fiend till she found Jesus. Right? Right. My mom definitely was out in these streets of DC during the Reagan era, wilding out. Right. Right. She didn't stop wilding out until she was pregnant with my sister. Right on. So when I refer to it till she found Jesus, I'm referring to the womb, the baby that's inside of her, who made her realize, like, I gotta stop doing this shit. I picked that up. Yeah. And taking care of these babies, in a sense, right? Because I was raised by my grandma. Right. Right. So the thought process of that was just basically me telling a story. Growing up, I'm 50, so growing up in this rap game, it was hard for me to write actual stories. I was always like boasting and bragging and I could do this, but now to sit down and actually write a story that makes sense, King is the perfect person for right now, for me in this life to make music with, because now I got something to say and it's transparent. So The Pressure was that record. Right. I talked about my mom. I talked about my dad. I talked about being raised by my grandma because mama was a street fiend. Right. Right. And by being an 80s baby, by being a Reagan baby, I can relate to people like you. I can relate to King. I can relate to women, because we've all fell in the victim of someone we love and know who fell under that crack shit. Right. It's very much like a Dear Mama. Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like a Dear Mama. And you know what? My mama heard that record. Right. And what she said at the end, I was sneak recording her. She didn't know I was recording her. Right. I said, Mama, let me know what you think about this record. We sitting in her living room. Let me know what you think about this record. I played it 3 times for her. Right. She said, play it again. Play it again. She said, hey, you are really telling what other people are thinking. Like, yes, people can relate to this. So everything she said, that's what she said. And I put it at the end. And I said, this makes sense because my mama's still here and she agrees with this record. And King will tell you, she even came to the studio and did a record with us called Afterlife.
Okay. That's what's up.
That's the first project.
That's the first project. And King's mom was still with us.
Say word.
Yeah, my mom met King's mom.
I heard you shout her out in one of the songs. I forgot which one it was, but I heard you shout King's mom out in one of the songs.
And that was Love.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, peace to Arlene, who gave us King C. So we keep your Chakra music. Yeah, so I was just like, because she was like, every time I went over there, her face was light up. Hey, how you doing? I'm fine.
You know. Yeah.
And then she met my mom. So they had a conversation. I brought my mom to King's house on her birthday.
Say word.
To do this song.
Okay.
And she followed directions. King was like, do it again. She did it again. She didn't know what the hell she was getting into until she heard the results of it. She was like, oh, this is beautiful.
You Dr. Drader, huh? I heard Dr. Dre's notorious for making you do shit over and over and over and over and over again. But the thing about this brother, I watched King C. You know, we played high school football together. We also won the championship together. The second time we won, we didn't win, which is still burns me up a little bit. But I know his work ethic. I witnessed work ethic. And he's a perfectionist, you know, and he has the ability to block out the world and just be super focused, you know, and it's nice to see. And I like to give some credit, you know, to our football coach who taught us how to be disciplined, who taught us how to be men, who taught us how to study our opposition. You know, we used to call them skull sessions, you know, and it seemed like, you know, in Bolo's kitchen, he's forever having a skull session. King C, hey man, is it possible, man, you could tell us about more about Chakra music and
Chakra music.
Enoch? I tried to do my research on it, but I apologize, man. I couldn't find anything that explained, you know, what Chakra music was. I really wanted to have that in the show today, and I was like, the hell with it. I'm gonna let the folks themselves, you know, the founders of Chakra music, you know, tell us the story about Chakra music. So, King, man, let us know about Chakra music. What went into that, man? I mean, who is Chakra music?
Well, it started out. His ex-wife was his DJ at a point in time, but she wanted to get more into the management part of it and not have to do management, stage management, because they moved around a lot. So he came to me one day and said, "Can you DJ for him on this little he had little tour dates, little shows he had lined up?" So I said, "Yeah, hell yeah." And I remember Enoch from the Capital City Record days when he was with a group called Culture Cypher. And I watched him perform, and I said, man, this dude got crazy energy. So I always remembered him from that when I witnessed that.
Right.
And I saw him in passing, and we kind of knew each other but didn't know each other. But it was always respect.
Right.
And eventually, long story short, his wife came to me and said, "Could you DJ for him?" And once I did that, I can't DJ for you and not start giving you beats. You know what I'm saying? That's how I said, well, if I'm going to be DJ for him, I'm going to go all the way in with this. So,
take these here beats.
The first project, what was that? Data Frequencies was our first. That was like a tester. We both was rusty. He hadn't written in a while, and I was still like coming out of the beggar era because the beggars kind of like went their ways.
Right. And
I was still like just on this island trying to still, because this is an ever learning craft. You never finish learning how to make beats or do music. It's constantly going through different chambers. Anyway, so we said, let's just do this project. So that project, we did that, Data Frequencies. Then he came with Return of the Prophet. And Return of the Prophet is actually when I went on the little tour with him.
Right.
And then I submitted a couple of tracks for that. As you can see, as the time went on, I just took over the production because I'm just like, I want to do it all after a while. You know, I don't want nothing else in here. Even mind you, people submit beats. If they hot, they dope. Like Return of the Prophet got lot of dope production on it.
Right.
It didn't come from me, but
Right.
but he came. He said, "Man, we need to create something outside. It's just me and you showing up." And when he said Chakra music, I mean, we toyed with a whole bunch of different names, but he born the Chakra music name because
Right.
I kind of knew about chakras. I have been looking at videos, and I just kind of bought a book that was breaking down the chakras, and it's just ironic that we ended up naming the I hate to call it a label, but I like to call it's a platform.
Yes, sir.
And we got tired of trying to get on other people's platforms, and we said we just need to brand our music outside of us individually, and that's pretty much what Chakra music is. It brands both of us. It's both of us to get when we come together.
Okay.
And that's the brand is King Cee and Enoch. You know what I'm saying? And like he allows me to experiment with him with beats, and you know, and I push him with rhymes. You know, I the one that pushed him to start telling his story and being transparent about his life and what I call get out of the catch wreck shit. And he was like, "What that mean?" Just saying how you gonna pull a motherfucker apart in your rhyme, being an MC. I said, get out of that mode, man, because what attracts people to music, far as with me anyway, when they tell a story or tell about themselves and they strike a level of emotion. The best songs that you like always strike a memory or an emotion. And that's when I go into making beats, I even like the keys I use, the instrument I use, like strings, pianos, keys, even when I'm listening to samples and chopping samples, I'm trying to find the most dramatic part of the sample and make it where it's palatable, where I can repeat it, and then enhance it with other sounds and drums and shit. So I just make sure that the beat's definitely gonna stimulate some emotion in him.
Right.
You know, whoever I do production for. Because I do beats for a few people. So I take that philosophy, and I always, if I do music for an artist, I said, can I hear your shit first?
Right.
So I can know, I want to know your skill level, because I don't want to waste my time. If you're not up to par with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be holding your hand through this shit. Right. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm sure Enoch has his take on it, how he born it, but that's how I see how Chakra music came about.
Right on. Look, just to let y'all know too, you know, I got a lot of pride, you know, in King Cee, you know, and the things that he do. So I'm bragging a little bit. Now my memory may be a little off. It always has been to some degree. But my memory, if my memory serves me correct, you worked with Wu-Tang and Rakim and them in the earlier part of your career. Is that correct?
I never worked with Rakim, but Father Lord had a close relationship with the RZA. So through the 90s when we were building the Beggars, Lord bought me, you know, I was just learning. I was kind of getting into production, but I remember him coming up Longfellow one time, and he was saying, man, yeah, man, putting this group together. I think it was the Shaolin Clan at first, but that was too much sounding Wu-Tangish. So they changed it to the Beggars. But anyway, he said, man, you bullshit, I want you in on this, man. You make beats, I make beats. We just come together and do this. So it was just like,
he would be proud of you.
I knew Father Lord back in the breakdance era, you know, kind of like the tail end of the breakdance era. Right. When he was a little majestic and he was he's the pop and break for the IBM crew, Emoto Break.
Yeah, I remember IBM crew.
And Frank Ski was actually the manager of IBM, the Emoto Break Masters. Right. Him and Larry G, I forgot which one, but I think they went to GW, so they was holding a lot of hip hop events at GW. Then you had the Crib, you had Teen World, you had the Shining Star, you had all these little teen hip hop little venues for you where you could go break dance, bring your crews there and battle. If you rhyme, graffiti, all that. But back to how I got affiliated with the Wu-Tang song. Actually, the Wu-Tang song came out in '97 on the Swarm compilation. It was a compiled of many different groups under the Wu-Tang umbrella, and the Beggars got in with a song called "On the Strength," and I produced that track. You got Long Axe, you got Dragonfly, you got Sammo Hung and Buddha Love. Those are the MCs on the track.
Right.
Pretty much after Father Lord returned, one of the guys within our crew, Ja King, he actually was politicking with RZA, and he politicked to get on to that project. So that was 19. We got on that project, and right now it's funny you bring that up because even though it came out in '97, we're currently now actually in the production part of we're going to film a video for that song.
Get out.
Didn't you get a plaque for
that jump?
Huh?
Didn't you get a plaque for that jump?
Nah, it don't work like that.
Okay.
I can get a plaque, but I got to pay for it.
Okay. Because
when you see people with plaques, I mean, I doubt if Jay-Z or people like that, people that are really part of the label or whatever, have to pay for their plaques, or maybe that comes out of budget and they never, they don't fill the budget. But I know a plaque will cost you a G. The record is gold. It sold 500,000 copies. So when people of us have inquired about it, so it costs like about a G to get you a copy of it. So
the reason why I bring it up is because I remember, and it's been a while. I remember in conversation when I was in your lab in your mom's basement, you were saying that, like I said, it's been a while, that Rakim had basically told y'all to come on, hey man, y'all was a part of this project. Y'all need to come up and get y'all plaque too, or get y'all propers too. Something to that degree. That's why I asked you about the plaque.
Nah, I don't even know Rakim. I doubt if anybody, it might have been somebody else or some other conversation, but nah, never. I would like to work with Rakim.
I've been one of the beggars.
It might have been another member of the Beggars, or they may have been talking about Risk.
Okay.
Because he used to go by Prince Rakim, so you might have got Rock.
We love you, Rakim.
Yeah, that's RZA. So he went by Prince Rakim, so you might have heard that name and equated that to Rakim. But nah, I have no connection personally or professionally with Rakim. That would be nice. A bucket list, do a beat for Rakim.
No doubt. Look, I was listening to Nostalgia. In my own personal opinion, it should be a DC anthem. The way that y'all put, even though, it's not like 4 or 5 minutes or whatever, the way that y'all constructed that song, the beat, and also, the lyrics to it, I really do feel like that could be a DC anthem. Like I said, I've been away from home for so long, it encompasses everything that I know about DC, so I really love that song and everything. And one of my favorites is Purple Rain. I love that joint. That joint tight as hell. The vocals and everything on there is wonderful. Look, King, I wanted to ask you about something off the little beaten path a little bit. Man, what y'all think about Deion, man? What Deion doing up in Colorado, man? This is a football question.
I mean, I like Deion. I like Deion Sanders, and
body colors up there.
I like that. Everybody giving him flack because he's not at an HBCU and all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's doing what he knows how to do, what he's equipped to do, and what he thinks is right.
Right.
So I think he's definitely opening the door to the NCAA, letting them know that there are a lot of Black talented coaches, which they know already.
They've been knowing it for years.
They've been knowing it for years. And usually 9 times out of 10, these championship teams you see where the head coach is a Caucasian, there's always an assistant coach that's a Black coach.
Yeah.
That's really behind it most of the time with the X's and O's.
Right.
Because I mean, I think he's even with the part with how college students are getting money for. I mean, he's getting kids deals and endorsements and stuff like that. Well, they've now made it okay. So what is he not supposed to put it as a recruitment to make recruitment more attractive? Right. Yeah, but other schools do it, but they just don't do it with that much flair. I'm sure a lot of these other schools are offering money and endorsement, but they do it a little bit quietly. Right. I knew Deion when he started being head coach, he was going to be like he was when he was a player.
That's right.
And a lot of people are new to Deion Sanders. We ain't new to him.
No, not at all.
He was hanging with Hammer. Come on, man. You can't get no more flamboyant. That was his man. That was his man.
Golden pants.
And so it's like, I like what he's doing. I get it, what they're saying about he could be filtering that attention and stuff into the HBCUs and all that. But, you know, hey, man, it is what it is, man. Every man has to choose for himself their path. So the HBCUs, they do a lot of fuck shit.
Right.
Like, for example, you'll pay to have Sexy Red come there.
My man.
All that bullshit.
My
but
God.
You won't pay to have a Tariq Nasheed or somebody with some consciousness to speak at these homecomings on a panel to balance out what you're feeding to the student body.
Right.
I wouldn't have a problem if you bring Sexy Red, then the next day we're gonna have a panel on economic empowerment, spirituality, just educating you on systemic racism or white supremacy or something. Give me a balance. Like, I'm not gonna say our era was perfect. We had NWA, but then we had Tribe Called Quest
and Public Enemy.
We had Public Enemy, so it was room for everybody. Right now, it's a lack of balance in music.
It's
not like it's done by. This ain't something that's being done by accident. This is intentional.
What I like, King, is that because I'm coming to you out of Cleveland, Ohio, project in Cleveland, Ohio, one of the most violent, underserved projects in Cleveland. You did, and what being in the trenches, I see the true effects of music like that, what it does to us. And what I look at it like, that music is creating two lanes. One is turning our projects all across the United States into basically breeding farms. Two, bodies and those breeding farms turn into labor for cheap labor, and not only for the outside world, but also the penitentiary. Because these people talking about in the next 30 years, they're going to build 300 more prisons. And they call this bullshit a democracy. You know what I'm saying? So, and it hurts, you know, because, I mean, young ladies be overdosing on fentanyl here. The bodies be left in the hallway. You know, our young women, you know, don't know. That's like, baby, don't you know in your DNA, you gave birth to the entire planet. You have the intelligence that gave birth to the entire planet. You're more than just, you know, a piece of meat. You're not even a piece of meat. You're brilliant. You're beautiful. And it's hard because, you know, that type of music. Now, like you say, I mean, even Common spoke to it in one of his songs. He was like, just because I say peace don't mean I ain't a freak. You know what I'm saying? Balance. You know, so you gotta have that balance. You know, and I call it murder cult music. You know, murder cult music. Our babies are stuck in that.
You gotta look at not to cut you, but you gotta look at how music is consumed. Of course, every medium they have where they're feeding the fuckery. Movies, TV shows, all that. But music is different because you could consume music by constantly every day. Like there's people that listen to records, they put them on repeat, whatever that favorite record is. So you can listen to music in your car, in your house, on these devices, when you're working out, when you're cooking, when you're walking your dog. So you can have a constant feed of music constantly.
Right.
We know how to balance it out because we come from an
Right.
era where we had balanced music. But the youth, they constantly listen to that. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, kill,
Right.
fuck. Whatever the message is, that's pretty much what it's saying. Some degraded shit, and that shit, that's the programming. Niggas
Right.
ain't shit, bitches ain't shit. Get him for what he care. Fuck a family, all that shit.
Right.
Get what you can out of him. Telling her to get all he can out of him. Him get all you can out of her. Everything's on a physical level. Fuck her mind, body, whatever she can do for you physically. Get it out of her. Get it from him. Get him. Nothing being taught.
Right.
Nurture families or nothing, because family is the cornerstone of the community.
And
the community is a cornerstone of a nation. So, and then so on and so forth. That's the mathematical order of that. So
I heard Tank say something very profound on his podcast. He said they're not scared of our violence; they're scared of our love.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared of our love, and that was so profound. Because I truly believe that.
Nobody love like black folk.
Nah, hell no. We love everybody but us.
Even when our worst family member on that Yeeties or they crack boy, grandma gonna say, you give that boy a plate and you leave him alone.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Nah, he come in. Don't leave him out there like that.
Right.
So yeah, man.
Hey, check this out. This is the part of the segment of the show where King C tells y'all what an amazing football player I was.
Wow. I mean, you wasn't no bum at all. They had you at the fullback because you wasn't afraid of the contact. Let's just get that understood. Wasn't afraid of the contact, and like he said about me, he said I'm the only one. I never knew that. He said I was the only one that can block him. But every time we had to pit or do man-on-man blocking drills, I'd be like, damn, here come this dude. Because first of all, he had better lower center of gravity than anybody.
Right.
And he was strong as hell. And he was like, his passion to keep his motor never stopped.
Right.
His motor never stopped.
Hey, you remember that time when y'all when me and Frank James was in the pit and y'all looked at each other and said, look, I bet you $5. And I knocked his helmet off his head. But anyway,
he turned it to the side.
Yeah, it turned to it turned to the side. But look, I was just playing about that. Hey man, Enoch, have you been paying attention, man? What's going on in Nigeria? And what's going on in Nigeria? How those African countries, man, are getting together to push the Americans and the French out and tired of them raping them for their uranium.
Yeah.
Have you been paying that any attention at all?
Yeah, I've been following it slightly and understanding like that's been happening for God knows how long. And the African nations and those who over there are getting tired of the European, they're getting tired of being slaves under the money thing, and they know they have a rich nation. They know that America wants what they have, so we want to keep y'all ass out of here. But my thing is, I gotta look at it like this too. Is I'll say this: a lot of people was happy when Obama became president.
I wasn't.
Right? The reason some were happy because a face that looked like us is there.
Right.
But the thing is, what did he have to sell to get that spot? And what does he have to continue to do for them boys and not be on his back?
Right.
The same thing with Africa. How deep does it go?
Right.
When you pull away, you can throw a rock and hide your hand type of thing. Like you can get rid of the British, but now since if you are in control of this nation and people,
right,
what you think America gonna do?
Right.
Try to do. They might try to hit him like Gaddafi, because Gaddafi was
look. Look, I almost cried. I was on the verge of crying because I understood the assassination of Gaddafi was a slap in all of our faces. And we didn't even realize it, brother. We didn't even realize. We just looked at him like some foreign dude over in the country or whatever the case may be. You know, that crushed me when they did that, because I knew he wanted to use that gold. Can you imagine the American businessman being able to hook up to a format like that was backed by gold? You know, we wouldn't need welfare. We could tell them to go fuck themselves with their welfare, fuck themselves with their food stamps and all this other shit. We would be rich. I mean, economically speaking, we already like the 10th richest nation in the world, you know, but we got these sellout black intelligentsias, you know, who keeps the voting, the voting aspect, the power of the voting and our money separate. And that shouldn't happen, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's happening, and it's sad. And I'm proud in a lot of ways. I'm proud to see Nigeria and in the other countries, Nigeria, and like I said, in other countries and everything coming together. But damn, you jumping out the frying pan into the deep fryer. Because your partner is Russia, is Putin. I mean, look what they're doing in Ukraine, you know, and peace out to my brother, Cooper Andrews. It's a young brother that I was mentoring here. He told me they was joining the Foreign Legion to go over to Ukraine to fight, this brother. And yeah, I cussed it. Look, I love him. I love him to death, and I miss him every day. But I cussed this motherfucking ass out. I was like, no, I said, boy, what in the fuck are you doing? Why would you take your black self over to Ukraine and die and possibly die there when we need you here? You know, why not go to Africa, to the East Congo, and help free them children up that's digging up cobalt, you know, the power our green movement. And, you know, and shout out to those children, women, men, and children in those mine pits, because without them, we wouldn't even have a show to do today. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that they doing is powering the cell phone, your computers, your car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and their punishment is rape, murder, and get beat up if they don't produce enough materials at the end of the day. So much love to the people out in the Congo. I love you. I haven't forgotten about you. Also, man, Palestine. Our asses were hurt is that, you know, we got a lot of shit going on, but goddamn, man, we're going to sit by, you know, and go to Starbucks and get a fucking pumpkin latte while America, with our tax money, is going to fucking wipe out Palestine, bro, right in front of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucked up, bro. They been talking about the attack was unprovoked. Man, you done had your foot in these people's ass since 1957. And how many of them you were murdering every goddamn day? 50% of Palestine is fucking children, you asshole. So I don't really believe that you love children. You know, on top of that, I don't think you love children, because we shouldn't have sex trafficking, shouldn't fucking exist.
Right.
I don't trust none of these goddamn politicians. I don't give a fuck what color they are, or how clean they suit, or what education they have. If they ain't talking about putting an end to sex trafficking, which is like the #1 black market money-making scheme on the planet, fuck you. You don't care nothing about me. And if you don't care nothing about them children in the East Congo, how you really care about me?
Right.
You of me, you tolerating me.
Right.
If that ain't on your tongue.
Right. Right. I mean, America, they don't really care about our feelings anyway.
Nah, not at all.
I mean, it shows. It shows now, because here's the thing. I have to say this because every time I turn on the news, it's about what the hell is going on elsewhere. Here in DC, they have the synagogues on they got security for them. They got security at the mosque. They got security at the damn Israel joints. But when we die by the hands of the police,
right,
this shit is not on the news 24/7 like it is about Palestine and Ukraine.
Right.
And then you want us to feel a certain way when the Israels and the Palestinians probably don't give up. They're not speaking on our behalf. Like, why y'all keep killing black people over there? Like, we're gonna stand strong for y'all over here. but then they want our help. They want our money. They want us to show some heart and some feeling with it. Yes, I hate to see the babies get bombed.
Absolutely.
That shit is not dope. That shit is not cool.
But you're speaking true.
But I hate to see Black people over here getting bombed and shot every day, and it's just a blurb on the news for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we going on to the weather the next day. We going on to the Commanders. We going to like sports. But it's not on CNN every day. You're not talking to a Black parent. Like, you lost your son against violence against the police. Like, how do you feel? Like, what's going on? Do you need some help? What can we do for you? No, they're doing that off of people who don't look like us. And that's disheartening. That's a slap in the face that I can't turn on the news. And this is on the news 24/7. This is going to be on the news for at least 2 or 3 months.
Right. Or longer.
Or longer.
Because I mean, if this hit the Arab world the wrong way, we might be looking at some major shit jumping off, you know? Because I don't know if them Arabs want to stand by and just let them fuck over Palestine like that.
Well, here's the thing. I saw the news. They was talking to an oil expert.
Right.
And they said that there's a particular place. They didn't say a particular place that is where all the oil is. And United States is $7 billion in debt from oil and gas.
No wonder they sending all their shit over there.
$7 billion. That's why the gas prices is high as shit over here.
Right. Right.
So if you think about that, and you think about the Biden administration created $6 billion to give to their ass, but they can't create $6 billion to shelter the homeless over here, or to get Black people therapy, or to get anyone therapy over here. But they create, now they're like, oh, we're going to withhold the $6 billion for we're not going to send that. Man, they don't give a damn about that money now, because they are destroying everything over there.
Like Pac say, we got money for war, but we can't feed the poor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and peace out to Tupac and the Shakur family as well.
Yeah, man.
Hey, look, man.
Oh, and I want to say this too.
Sir.
Me and King, as brothers and also artists and as co-founders of Chakra Music, when Black Lives Matter came out, we ain't rap about that shit. We ain't talk about that shit.
Hey, tell me why. Tell me why.
It was already being talked about. People were already rhyming about it. People was already rhyming about wearing a mask and this and that, man. Shit. That's happening.
Right.
What's going on in your family right now? What can we have the people to get the people to kind of not really think about that? We're already living in the moment. We're already doing videos with a mask on our face. Reagan era. When we shot Reagan era, we shot it in the midst of the Trump rally. It was a Trump rally going down. Right.
Okay.
Right. And we still did the Reagan era joint. We still did the Reagan era joint. So it's that we didn't touch on it. It wasn't no need to, because all the artists was touching on it. There wasn't no need to talk about it.
Right.
We Black. We know we matter.
Right.
And this is how we matter. We got something to say.
Chakra music.
Both of you guys, thank Chakra Music, thank Enoch 7th Prophet, and King Cee.
Yes,
hey, y'all go out and get that. Hey, y'all know I'm legit. You know I'm only full of shit 15% of the time, but the other 85% is strong and long. You dig me? And when I tell y'all, go out and get this Chakra Music for your chakras, buddy. Go out and get this music, man, and play it for your girl. Hey, the politics in the music is there, you know, about females and how you should treat females, and you shouldn't be a fucking predator and keep your hands to yourself. You know, all this is mixed up in his music. And I want to thank Chakra Music, Brother Enoch, and DJ King Cee. You know, shout out to the Beggar Clan, wherever you guys are. Peace to Lord Lyell. And we out this motherfucker, man. And I love you guys, and thank you so much. It takes a lot to live in DC and survive in DC. So thank you both very much for allowing me to bring y'all on to my new podcast, The People's Dinner Party. And we out this motherfucker, man. Peace out, brother. Peace out. Peace.
Reagan era turned Chocolate City to the drug game. Crack rock white. Reagan era turned Chocolate City to the drug game. Crack rock white. Reagan era.
I'm a 70s baby, raised in the 80s, mama. Heard Reagan speak on the Iran and Contra drama. Grannies praying to the Lord, hoping my mom's comes home safe and don't end up in the morgue. DC drug warlords, smorgasbord, fork in the road, all you can eat. City never sleeps till the street lights come on and fiends run like roaches. Hoping, scoping for the next crumb to jump on. Fiends in the 80s, raised crack babies, moved in with granny. Life wasn't fancy, still had bread in the pantry, making miracles out of nothing to provide something. Red-headed youngin', Washingtonian native, pops never made it. Mom's still here though, second generation. I respect that, like being young, black, and gifted. Rosalie taught me that. On any given Sunday, find me in the church playing drums for the choir. I'm inspired to never run with the bad boys in the neighborhood or I will expire. Coke supplier, burn by the fire, reach higher, designer clothes, dream deferred, burn a hole in your nose, life blows. Curtis, eating church's chicken, Gino's finger licking, getting whoopers in public.
Reagan era turned Chocolate City to the drug game. Crack rock white. Reagan era turned Chocolate City to the drug game. Crack rock white. Reagan.
You are listening to Shakur Music.
Operation I'm dope, clearing out my sanity. Music is my therapy, navigate the pain away. Move at a different pace, gotta keep up with the race. Plead a case you didn't know, blacks dying and folks crying. Overspilled milk, ungrateful for the cost that been dealt. Energy felt, lingers like Mary Jane. I lost weight for carrying my own weight. No mistake, place the bet, stakes is high like David Ruffin. Struggling and hustling, live a better life, prepare for the aftermath. Smile in the devil's face, frown down on God's grace. Man, you tripping, bro, just to get an Instagram like though. Use a hoe, slide down the pole, no disrespect to the professionals. He's an amateur and he knows that. I got a weird addiction, I like pineapples on my vegan pizza. Gorgeous women, smell like Roy's keepers. God is of enlightenment, spark the minds of the deaf, dumb, and blinded. Get excited, return up the prophet, Om Chant Messiah. Return up the prophet, the Om Chant Messiah. Operation I'm dope, clearing out my sanity. Music is my therapy, navigate the pain away. Return up the prophet, the Om Chant Messiah.